Hey, how's it going everybody? List of Legends here, got a great video for you guys today, and as the title and thumbnail says, we're going to be listing the top 8 Total Drama characters that need to return. So when looking at this, I'm not saying that they deserve to win a season or anything. In fact, I've already made a video about that, which I'll leave the link in the description if you want to check that out. But yeah, these will be characters I feel should make a return based on their performances in their respected season. So just because they won a season doesn't necessarily mean they won't make an appearance on this list. Alright, I think that's all I need to say, other than be sure to click that like and subscribe button if you want to see more Total Drama content like this, and other great videos from me. Without further interruptions, let's begin. Starting things off at our number 1 spot, we have Owen, and I think this one's a no-brainer. He's pretty much the face of Total Drama. Every time you see any promotional media, most of the time it's been Owen and Chris slapped on the front of it. Now with Owen, you either love his character or you hate his character. Me personally though, I think he's good enough. If they ever did revive the old characters, which I'm hoping for the success of this reboot coming eventually, that they'll bring back some of the old cast. Because again, even though it's going to be an entirely new cast, this doesn't mean the old characters just didn't exist. So with that said, if they were to bring back some of the old characters, Owen definitely needs to be among them, since he's pretty much the most recognizable in a sense, and let's not forget, they robbed him of his return in All-Stars. So I think this big guy deserves a spot on our list. Number 2 is Heather. Like Owen, she's definitely popular among the fandom, and it'd be pretty much a waste to not have her return, and after the flop in All-Stars, I think it would be better for her to come back, and maybe reclaim herself as a number 1 Total Drama villain. Now, of course, if you bring back Heather, Alejandro should come back as well. I mean, he kinda too got cheated by Mal and the failure of All-Stars, so you know, why not? It would also prove more of the fact to have Alejandro return for another character coming up on this list. Now, I know this entry is supposed to be Heather, and I'm kinda talking about Alejandro more. I don't mean to, honestly, even though I like Alejandro more than Heather, yes, I said it. For a new Total Drama season, having Heather return more makes sense. She's obviously more recognizable than Alejandro, so you know, if you had to bring back one of the two, I would say Heather. Number 3, I chose Justin, and as I said before, it would also benefit having Alejandro return greatly, because Justin didn't do much to shine as the antagonist. I've said countless times at this point that I like Justin as a character, but him as an antagonist, it sucked. It could have been so much better. All he does is make his team do stuff for him, just because he himself doesn't want to, and that's about it. Which of course doesn't even last long to begin with, because Lindsay and Beth just simply stop falling for his looks, and he ends up a bit in a pickle. But with Alejandro, the two of them could work together and make an alliance, and they could be an unstoppable force. Halfway on our list, we have the lovable lame brain Lindsay, and who am I kidding? Who doesn't want Lindsay to return and score a W? Like seriously, she's one of the most funniest characters of the show. They obviously fumbled the bag with her character in All-Stars by making her way too dumb to the point she couldn't even push a stroller. Every time the OG cast was in a season, she came back as well. She had a lot of character development, especially in action, and her telling Heather off an island, that was such an iconic scene, dude. So, not much else to say, Lindsay needs to come back. Number 5 is Courtney. The amount of time she's been robbed of a win in a season is just insane to me. In Island, she was crafty and was more of a team player to the other contestants, like letting Duncan know it's okay to do some good after helping DJ, but when action rolled around, she started acting more like Heather, basically doing any means necessary to win. Aside from her love triangle debacle and the disaster of Sunday Muddy Sunday, good lord, please bring her back for redemption on that one. She was overall a pretty smart player. She managed to manipulate Duncan and of course suing the show so that Chris basically had to give her an advantage in challenges. Courtney is a character that manages to get decently far, but doesn't make the cut, so you know, it would be great for her to come back once again, drop the emotions on her past, and focus on the game. Number 6, I chose Lightning. The only reason he and the next few characters on this list are so high is because they didn't get much screen time, especially Lightning. Yes, I know he won Revenge of the Island, but still, you can't really say he had any at all relevancy in All-Stars, because he was limited like straight away. I don't see a lot of people talking about Lightning at all, and I really think he should come back, since he won the season after all. So he's a lot more recognizable in a sense, and I guess worthy if you want to call it that. I don't know, I feel like if I just put Gen 1 characters, I would kind of feel bad. So if I had to choose characters from Gen 2, Lightning is definitely going to be one of them. Nearing the end of our list at our number 7 spot, we have Sean. Like I said, they're so high up here because they only got one season of screen time, and he's the only Pocketail character on here. Obviously, with only 8 spots, it kinda makes it pretty hard to add characters, especially from Gen 3. But if I had to add a character, I would probably pick Jasmine, because she's a really great character, and since she was with Sean, it would be great to have her come back with him. But for Sean, he's definitely the character that stood out to me most in Pocketail Island. His zombie apocalypse aspect of his character was really interesting, and it really comes in handy with challenges with his survival skills, you know, like when he was showing off which berries are okay to eat. Overall, with his survival skills, incredible physical strength, and the fact that he stands out the most to me of his cast, I think it's a no-brainer he should return. At our great number 8 spot, we have got to have Brick on this list. He certainly has a good fan base of people who actually acknowledge him as underrated, and how much he did in Revenge of the Island, even though his screen time wasn't the best. So if they were to bring him back, I think a lot of his fans, me included, would really appreciate his return. The dude put everyone's safety above his own, an example of this being when he was saving the opposite team in the cave, which ended up costing him as he was eliminated shortly after. He's a great leader, he has his rivalry with Joe, so you know, there's a lot you could do with his character. And after his heroic elimination, and the fact he was actually supposed to be an All-Stars anyway, I think it would be a disservice to not have him come back. Alright viewers, that's the end of the top 8 total drama characters that need to return on our list. Believe me, there's a lot of characters that I think should make a return, but with only 8 spots, it kinda makes it hard to mention everyone that I want to add. Maybe we can do a tier list or something talking about each individual character. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to see down in the comments. Alright guys, with all that said, I look forward to seeing you with our next list.